At least one person has been killed and 12 have been injured, and 38 are missing after a landfill collapse.
Reports suggest they are trapped in an avalanche of garbage and debris from a waste management facility that spilled onto a nearby village. Well, let's bring in our Asia correspondent, Helen Smith, who joins us now. And Helen, this sounds like the most appalling story. What more do we know?
Yeah, absolutely horrific. And the pictures that are coming out from this village really show the scale of that landfill site. And it just must have been absolutely horrendous for the people who lived through it and for the rescuers who are still working to try and recover people. This took place yesterday afternoon, local time, actually. And you can see from the pictures that this was a waste processing and a landfill site. And there's this big mountain of garbage and waste, essentially. And you can see from the images and indeed also from what the local authorities have said, that just side of it giving way to this terrible avalanche of garbage that just came smashing down and into a sort of a warehouse of sorts. And the authorities have said that that was a warehouse where workers were working to shift through that rubbish to separate it into recycling and non-recycling. It's not clear yet whether some of those affected were other members of the public over and above the workers at that plant. It's also not clear whether there's other sort of housing in the local area that's been affected too, but just absolutely horrific. Authorities have been working through the night to try and find people who are still trapped, but very sadly, experts say in cases like this, the chances of survival are actually reasonably low because people are buried in such hazardous material, and if there are pockets of air, they're likely to quite quickly fill up with methane gas that's sort of released by that rubbish, sadly making the chances of survival quite small. There's a little bit of discrepancy about the figures, how many are missing, how many are rescued. The police department and the local mayor coming out with slightly different numbers, but what we do know is that one worker died on her way to hospital earlier today, which is local authorities saying very, very tragic indeed. Interestingly, they've also put out a statement saying that they want to assure the public and the families that they're doing everything they can to protect what's being called safety, transparency and accountability. And I think that's really important because there will be questions as to how this could have happened. The Philippines produces a lot of garbage. It also receives a lot of garbage from other countries in the region. And there has been a past history of some of these sites not being managed well enough. There was a huge landslip in a waste site like this in 2000 that killed hundreds of people. So there will be questions to follow about how this has been allowed to happen. Were procedures and safety standards good enough? But for now, the search for survivors continues.